And we are live.
Woo!
Hi, Christine. How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I am amazing, and I'm so excited to be with you here today. Hi, everybody. How you doing? My name is Clyde Keep, and I'm coming to you live from Gulfport, Florida. And I'm here with my amazing rock star friend, Christine Jensen. It's Jensen, right? That's how I pronounce it.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, awesome. I know she's going to share this to her page, so all of her people get to see this as well. And so I am so excited you're watching this, whether or not you're watching the replay or you're watching the live. And let us know. Let us know
And
if you're
so
watching.
I am so excited you're watching this. Whether or not you're watching the
You're
replay,
private.
the live, and let us know. Let
It
us know.
shouldn't
And
be.
so why-
Or you're on friends only, so you're not public. You're private.
Okay. Well, that's not.
Or you're
That's.
on friends only. So
We'll
you're
fix
not
that
public.
later then, I guess.
Okay.
But go ahead and turn it off on your end so that it's not echoing
We'll
in.
fix that later then, I guess.
Because I'm hearing you. I'm hearing it play on your end.
Not echoing in.
Oh. Oh,
There we
shoot.
go. Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Because
Yeah,
I'm hearing it play on your end.
Okay. I
There
got
we
you
go.
now.
Perfect.
I'm like, oh, I'm
I
in
was
my
like-
notes.
I was like, why do I hear myself? Technology. Hey, listen. You don't have to know how to do a lot of technology to be able to do what Christine's done, that she's going to share her story with us today. And I'm super excited. So do let us know where you're watching from. Go ahead and put down in the comments the city and state that you're watching from. And then, oh, Jessica. Yeah, Jessica, we got that fixed. It was just, it was a little replay on Christine's end. But let me know where you're watching from, city and state. And then also let us know if you're watching the live or if you're watching the replay. So this is my good friend, Christine. I met her back in March. Well, we actually met in Vegas, I guess is technically where we originally met. Not Vegas, sorry, Nashville. When we firstly met, but like we really didn't get to know each other until you came here to Florida and you came to our event that we had for Lab. And I kind of last minute was like, hey, Christine, you want to tell your story? And she was like, sure, you know? And I was so blown away by Christine's story that I was like, the world needs to hear this story. And then we got to meet up in St. Augustine when I was vacationing in St. Augustine and you were going through there on your travels. We got to meet back up and have coffee and hang out a little bit then. So that was so much more fun too. So it's been such a pleasure getting to know you, hearing your story, and not just hearing the highlights, but getting to really know you and just, it's just amazing. So, so first of all, I would like to ask you a couple of little warm-up questions. If you could have lunch with any celebrity or influencer, anybody like that, anybody important in your life that's dead or alive, who would it be and why?
I don't like watch a lot of TV and stuff, so I don't really know a lot of celebrities that's not my thing. But so I would have to say my grandpa and grandma Jensen.
Okay. And why?
My grandfather was like such a huge influence. He was like one of those people that no matter what anybody did, I mean, he was just so proud of you. Like you just could feel it. And they just were such a huge influence. I'm so sad. My daughter's 37. I think my grandfather, I got news that he passed away on her kindergarten screening day. And I just so much miss that she didn't get to experience him.
Okay. I love that. So they obviously were a big part of your life that touched you deeply. That's great. What about a bucket list travel destination that you could, if you could go anywhere on a trip, where would you go?
Maldives.
Maldives. Oh yeah. You didn't even have to think about that.
No.
I love it. Why? So why there? What about there do you really look forward to or like?
I just think it looks like a really good beach, and I kind of like beaches. It
Yeah,
just looks
it's
so
beautiful.
relaxing.
I've had exchange students from like a lot of places in Europe, Switzerland and stuff, and that's kind of like a regular place that they go for vacation, right? And so, hi Tina, thanks for joining us. So that's awesome. I love it. Well, let's get back. I want to get into your story here a little bit and tell us a little bit about that. And I do want to make sure that I make it very clear that we do not make any kind of medical claims or anything like that, right? Like we're telling Christine's story on what she did to improve her health over the last year to year and a half. And so there's no medical claims here. Everyone's situation is going to be different. But Christine, tell me a little bit about just take like 2 minutes to tell me a little about your history. Like where was Christine a year ago, 2 years ago? How did you get there? and just kind of give me a little bit about you.
So I was like actually on home health care, and I was like cognitively impaired. I knew what I didn't know. I was really just having a hard time keeping it together. This is like from years of damage, you know. So as a child, I have meningitis. That seemed to have caused. I went deaf in my right ear almost completely, and my tubes were small, so I got infections, and I was like always on antibiotics. I was literally the only person in my whole family who ever had any health problems. And so fast forward, you know, in 2011, I had some very large cysts, like football-sized cysts, had a hysterectomy. I say that got me a frequent flyer card into the medical system. Then it was like, oh, now you have hypothyroid. And while I didn't have bad cholesterol, my heart risk factor was high. So now let's give you some statins. Let's give you some blood pressure medication. That kind of went on. Then 2014, I was diagnosed with a benign brain tumor, and I was treated with a very high dose of radiation to stop the growth, not get rid of it. I still have it. And that again caused more inflammation. I think that was really the turning point that put me over the edge, because my body was like so inflamed I couldn't like get past it. And I ended up with like blood sugar problems, and this horrific pain was a side effect from the statin. So even by 2015, so 1 year later, I had lost my job, my housing, everything, and was determined nursing home level of care. And I was in a wheelchair, and literally I could at many days not straighten my limbs out even. And
Wow.
so it was just incredible. And I was, you know, I never gave up though. I just kept fighting. I was even diagnosed with severe adjustment disorder because they didn't think that I was accepting of my condition. Thank goodness I didn't though.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
thank goodness I didn't.
Right. That was a positive diagnosis, right? Yeah. I mean, really.
Best
yeah.
diagnosis, yeah. Be a ordinary old bag and see where you go.
So then what happened to kind of like was a light bulb for you that really helped you realize you needed to do something different than this path you were on with all this?
I went to a business training that I thought was going to really just help my business. And it was a personal development thing where I was taught to visualize myself where I wanted to be. Ray Higdon is somebody I followed for years. And all of a sudden it was like, nothing in my life is what I want. And then I went to some friend's house to house sit, and I fell in a snowbank and couldn't get my fat ass out of it, literally. And like it was like, this has gone too far. I don't know. And I did it real, and I said, I'm putting myself in boot camp. I don't know how. I don't know where. I don't know what. But we're done. We're done being a sick person.
I love it. Now, at one point, you did see a doctor that talked to you about gut health, right?
So 28 doctors, not a single one of them ever mentioned it. I had psoriasis so bad that started like in the 90s. So this isn't a new thing. It was all building upon stuff for years, probably from the antibiotics, from the first time I had meningitis at 2 years old. I had psoriasis so bad my hands were literally bleeding. I had it all over my body, my head, arms, legs, back, which was really annoying. And I was begging to see an allergist, and they kept wanting to send me to a dermatologist. And so I went and saw the allergist. We get done, and he said, and so they had said I have psoriasis. Psoriasis isn't a sensitivity, though. You would have to have been diagnosed with eczema to get the allergy test. So he says, I'm going to need you to see a dermatologist. And I started bawling, and I'm like, but I have all these sensitivities. Like, I used to be able to take antibiotics. I can't even take them anymore, and I get so sick, and I'd rather have what they were treating even in. And he's like, have you ever like looked into gut microbiome? Because it seems like that's the cause of not allergies.
And that was the light bulb, right? That was really the light bulb moment for you.
Yeah, so he said it won't be covered, so you should do some research on your own. He said fecal microbiota transplant, which is where you buy someone else's poop, pay for a colonoscopy, and have that poop put in you. That said, I have not really had really good luck with you people. I don't know that I'm ready to do something that permanent. Can we save some of
It's
my
a poop
poop?
transplant.
Can I get it back? Like, I don't know if I want to do that. It sounds really permanent.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a little weird. That's a little weird. Exactly. I mean, I'm sure whatever, but yeah. So
Only you could do this interview. Clyde's like the poop expert, just for my own friends.
The poop papa. Yeah, exactly. That's funny. I love it. I love it. I mean, as much as I love poop and talking about poop, I think putting somebody else's poop in me for something is that might be crossing the line for me. I don't know.
Not only that, that's like an exit place, not an entrance place. It's like, no.
I love it.
We're not taking stuff in there.
So tell me, so from then you started doing your research about gut health, right? And the microbiome and all those kinds of things. And is that what led you to the Livology system and the gut health system?
No. Believe it or not, no. So 2 days later, my friend Lauren posted, I looked up the cost of it. It was $20,000. And actually I started watching lab videos
to
make money. Yeah, because the poop thing's $20,000.
20 grand.
And
right.
I literally was making $1,100 a month on disability. So how am I going to even pay for that? And so it took me like 2 months. I was so focused on how am I going to get the money for this poop transplant that I don't want. And all of a sudden one day someone posted something about how's your sleep, and I answered and got added to our healthy and holistic group. And it dawned on me that all these products I was introduced to 2 days after the allergist appointment was exactly what he was talking about.
I have a core belief in life. There are no accidents. Everything in life is always happening for us. And obviously that was happening for you for sure.
And not only that, the visualization, if you're looking for a solution, you find it. Yeah. So when this stuff's popping up to you, don't be ignoring that.
Yeah.
That's like you're advice. Getting what you look for. What you do with the information, though, is up to you.
That's great. I love that. And I believe it so much. So tell me what happened from this. So what happened? You started, you kind of decided to jump on board. You got some of the products. What did you do as far as starting the product?
They had some weird $1 enrollment like in March of 2022. So I spent $1 and I bought some Morbida because I really couldn't afford much more. And so I drank that Morbida. At that time, I had edema so bad my legs were purple. It looked like I have moon boots on. So I was taking water pills and whatever. So I knew already from the medications that I needed to keep my feet up and drink a lot of water. And so I got the Morbida and I drank that. I drink it every day. This is an empty one.
For everyone that knows, Morbida is our moringa product. So if you don't know what moringa is, just Google the benefits of moringa and you're going to get a ton of great information. It's the most nutritionally dense plant in the world. So one of our products that we have at Lab is moringa, and we call it Morbida.
And it's got 36 anti-inflammatories. So that's why I picked it. It's also known to help with blood sugar control and things like that. So I thought, okay, if I was going to have to pick one thing to try, I think I would try that. And I drank that for 4 days. And I did water, so 16 ounces of water, morning, mid-morning, lunch, afternoon, evening, and before bed. I peed out 18 pounds of inflammation. Like I literally laid flat and peed. That was all, and drank. That was all I did. I just refilled and peed. I mean, it was crazy. So I ordered the rest of it.
You're like, this stuff works, obviously. That's crazy. Now, that's not typical. Obviously, you don't start drinking Morbida in 4 days, you're losing 18 pounds. But Christine was in a very unique situation, right?
I was 381 pounds. Yeah. And I would say all of the weight that I lost in probably the first 4 months was just inflammation.
Yeah.
It was that bad. Like literally my face, my head, my hands, everything was swelling.
I know I had lunch with Melissa and Brandon, some of our corporate people at our company, before we had our meeting in St. Pete. And they were talking about your story. And I knew you, but I didn't know you that well, you know? And I was like, they're like, you should see if Christine will tell her story. And I'm like, okay, that's perfect. I love that. And Brandon, after you told your story in St. Petersburg, Brandon said, and it gives me goosebumps kind of, he goes, if Christine's story was the only story and the only success we ever had with lab, all the money, all the time, everything that went into the lab, it would 100% be worth it. And I believe it. But the reality is you're one of many stories of people who are getting amazing different results using these products. So it's amazing. Now, what I do want you to talk about a little bit is, like, you didn't just take the lab products and then you magically got healthy, right? You did other things also, and in coalition with that to start to change your lifestyle, right?
Yeah. So in the past, I had already seen a nutritionist and a dietitianist, or a dietitian, I guess, not a dietitianist. And so I was already counting calories, but I was doing 1,200 to 1,800 calories and gaining 2 pounds a month for like 2 years. I was already eating pretty clean. So what I did was I habit stacked. So for the first month, I used the lab products. I called my doctor. I set up lab work for 30 days. I did nothing else but I got on a really good, consistent habit, taking my Activate, my Borbita in the morning, and my Sleep and my Cleanse at night. I really didn't make any dietary changes. However, it was April, and I went to a Easter buffet that was mostly carbs. I don't know if you've ever been to one of those, but pretty much they serve a lot of carbs because it's cheap. And I was like, oh my God, I feel like I got drunk the night before. I like almost had a hangover. So I learned pretty quick not to eat that crap. Like, unless you want to feel like crap. So
yeah,
it
totally
started. So there was a process starting already. Yep. Then I set up the labs at 30 days. I was on so much medication, I really couldn't make a lot of dietary changes. So my buddy Ray dropped some random fact that you should move 2 to 10 minutes after eating. You can look it up on the American Diabetes website. It will lower blood sugars up to 26%. So I started doing that. So this is my chair. I was all chair exercises. I got some Swifters for my feet. I could not walk. My knee back then needed replacement. And I just moved my body to circulate it. Our products are plant-based and cellular, so you need to circulate so that it gets to all your cells to work.
I love it. I love it. And that, to me, that's just so awesome, because so many people find the reasons why they can't do it, right? I mean, you were 300 plus pounds and you had a lot of health issues and your body hurt and it wasn't comfortable and you did all these things, but you just said, you know what? I'm going to just do what I can in my chair to start moving my body.
And then I should probably touch on diet. So then in July, I got a glucose sensor and we stopped all my diabetic, or not diabetic, I don't want to say a diagnosis, my blood sugar medications. Yeah. And so I was able to then see that if my blood sugars went a little bit higher, protein brought them down. So I started eating more meats. Then I could see, it runs about 15 minutes behind, but I could see that 10 minutes of movement, just movement, you guys, cleaning my house and whatever, was more beneficial to me. And you can see, this is my bike that I was riding 12 to 1,800 calories, doing 30 minutes a day, 5 times a week for cardio. And gaining weight. So when I changed to 2 to 10 minutes of movement, and I watched serving sizes. So I didn't eat like it was Thanksgiving. I didn't let myself get hungry. I eat often and a lot, but I keep it to a serving. And I kept my carbs in July, so my 4th month, I kept my carbs to fruits for a whole month. Now I may eat a piece of bread at a meal, but I don't have bread and fruit. I just have one carb per meal. Yeah.
I love it. So how long has it been since you started this journey?
What is it? 13 months now?
Yeah. So about 13 months. And what have been like the bullet points of success? Like, we don't just focus on weight loss, but that's part, I mean, that was a what do we call it? A side effect, right?
One may think that I needed to lose weight and that should have been my focus, but I had accepted my size. What the biggest thing is I don't have any pain. I don't have migraines. I'm a brain tumor survivor. I still have it, I think. I will find out. But I don't have any pain. So the thing of it is I can move if I want to. I'm I'm not disabled. Like I can do what I want to do because I've gotten my body working the way it's supposed to again. So if I don't move today, that's a choice now. It isn't a fact that I can't.
That's amazing. I mean, that is just amazing. See, I told you you needed to hear this story, everybody, and that the world needs to hear the story because it's about using good nutrition, and the products are amazing, and definitely that was the thing that kind of spearheaded things and got things moving. But you also have to make other good choices, and mindset being a huge part of that, right? Getting yourself in the right place, mindset. I mean, you made a lot of adjustments in there too.
So I still eat ice cream, but I may walk to the ice cream place. And I may not, let's talk about that for just a minute. I was actually talking to some friends the other day, and it's very habitual for me. We went to coffee, and I didn't have coffee during the sitting time because I knew I wasn't going to be moving. So I got my thing to go, and then I moved afterwards. So within 30 minutes of eating, I'm moving my body. But we were talking about this. I was so big that I wouldn't go into a Dairy Queen and order a banana split. Now, why? Everybody gets to have a banana split. But I wouldn't want to eat that because I thought people would be thinking, well, she probably should have had a small cone or like a carrot. And, like I felt like everybody, I've said this. I felt like Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall and no one could put me back together again. It was very horrible, emotional way to feel.
I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, you're just even in the amount of time when I first met you, because like you're just a different person. I mean, you've just grown so much. You can tell your confidence and how you feel and all those things. And all those things just feed off each other and perpetuate, right? Like when you start to get
Well, my brain's working. It was not working before. Like I couldn't balance my checkbook from one page to the next. I'd forget the number. I'd write it down on another piece of paper.
your cognitive ability. Yeah, for sure. For sure. For sure. Well, I this has been so much fun. What's next for you now?
Oh, I would have to get a bigger van with an air conditioner because I don't like being too warm. No, so my dream is to give up my house and travel to make up for the 8 years of my life that I lost, and that was my goal. Before this all happened, I lived off grid. I worked for the DNR. I was off in the winter, and the last thing I needed was like my summer traveling vehicle. And so now I'm going to be doing that.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
And I can work from anywhere.
I know that's the beautiful part about it, right? I know you just went on that little road trip all over the place in your van, and you were still able to do your daily workflow, and you were still able to with social media and the internet, it's unbelievable. So I think there's that, and we didn't even touch on the business part of it, but obviously you decided to take Lab and do it as a business then as well, right? You wanted to share your story and your journey with other people and help them as well.
Brandon talks about his story helping one person. I'm telling you what, if I can save somebody from losing 8 years of their life like I did, that's like I didn't go through all that to keep quiet about it. I went through that because I'm a person
Amen.
with a big mouth and I'm supposed to share that.
I love it. I love it. Shout it from the mountaintop because everyone needs to hear it for sure. For sure. If you would like to learn more about the Lab products or the business opportunity part of that, either reach out to myself or Christine, or if you were invited by somebody else, we'll have a lot of our I like to call them our lab partners that have probably asked people to watch this as well. Reach out to the person who invited you to watch this video because we'd love to share more with you about how to learn more about the products, how to get started using the products, how to learn more about the business opportunity. We have such a great community here. It's really amazing. I love it. I love it so much. So, Christine, what would be for our last question to wrap things up, what would be the number one piece of advice you would give to somebody who it was maybe not even in the extreme situation you were in, but just in a place where they're just not feeling good, they're not feeling healthy, mentally, physically, all that?
You know, all of our products come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. It took me 2 months for my broke self to wrap my brain around that. But here's the thing. You can listen to a million stories, but if you don't experience it for yourself, like I cannot tell you how painful it was to not do, like I was trying. Not only that, when you're at a doctor's office, they say we're going to try this and see how this goes. You know, I mean, so everything we're doing is trying anyway. Get the products, give it a try, tell your doctor what you're doing. Because when it's not covered, especially if they're affiliated with a large clinic, they can't recommend something for you that's not or not covered because of malpractice. So if you go into your doctor and you celebrate your accomplishments, take control of that conversation and say, I want to try this. Give them the ingredients list and tell them to work around that. That's where you start.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, really important to take control of your own health for sure.
It is.
I sure it. Christine, it has been my pleasure for sure. And I know it's been the pleasure of everyone else that's watched tonight. So thank you so much for giving us your time today.
And thank you so much, Clyde, for doing this. It's so helpful to have someone keep you on target. I really appreciate it.
It's been amazing. So love you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye. Have a good day.